Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and this is going to be a look at a pair of Penlight style flashlights from Powertac. You have the Saber model here, which is the AAA version, and the Lance model, which is the AA version. And I was pretty excited when I found out I was getting both of these in the mail to review because after reading some of the specs, I was pretty intrigued by them, and I wanted to go ahead and test them out for myself. Now, I've been alternating carrying both of these models as part of my EDC and primarily my EDC flashlight for the past couple weeks. And I can tell you, I quickly fell in love with them. The build quality and features that they have are exactly what I wanted my EDC flashlight to be. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the Saber model first. I'll set the Lance to the side. Comes in this really awesome box. The Saber is putting out 201 lumens on its high mode. The box itself does have a little bit of more information on the flashlight in the back here, but I'll go ahead and show it to you guys. So once you slide the sleeve off, you have this plastic case. Inside the case, the first thing you have is your user manual. And I always do recommend that you check out the manual because it does give you a lot of useful information on your light. So besides that, you have this little bag here with a pair of extra O-rings. Again, if you do need it, that is available to you. And then you have the light itself. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and talk about the light. I'll start it over here and work my way back. First thing is you have a granulated bezel on the head here. Now what I did find is that while I have this in my hand, it has a very Kubotan feel to it. So if you guys are familiar with using those, the granulated bezel will come in handy. As you move back through the body of the flashlight, you have this machining on the aluminum, which is very functional in my opinion. The ridges allow you to have a more grippier feel to the flashlight itself. So if your hands are wet or greasy or something like that, it's not going to slide out of your hands. If it were to be, just completely smooth. And as you move to the back here, the machining is covered in this rubber insert, which is really awesome also because it gives you, a little bit of a extra added grip to the light itself, especially as you're actuating the button in the back here. The pocket clip is nice and sturdy. It definitely holds the flashlight in the pocket very nicely. And then also it's a pretty low ride to where you're not going to have a lot of the flashlight sticking out of your pocket. Maybe it'll snag on something or not. So I do enjoy that. And then you have your tail cap switch here. It is rubberized, has great feel. It works every time that you click it on and click it off. So as far as the modes on this light, again, the high is going to be 201 lumens. So you go ahead and click it on, you'll be greeted with 201 lumen. If you click off and click back on, it'll go down to a low of 22 lumens. And then you'll have your strobe, which is back up 201 lumens. And that's it. Those are pretty much the three modes of the light itself. And I really do enjoy that. I find that for the most part, I just pretty much use the high setting on most of my EDC flashlights. Once in a while, I do want to have, something a little bit lower. So the fact that you can bump it down to the low mode for 22 lumens is great. And then if you did have the need for it, you do have the strobe option on there also. I think for the most part, the majority of people using EDC flashlights are going to fall anywhere within, those high, low, and then strobe. So the fact that they didn't, bag you down with a lot of modes on the flashlight, it's another plus for me. They don't add in unnecessary modes that you're not going to really be using, and then you have to cycle through different modes to get to your low or something like that. I think it's definitely well thought out. Now, one of the biggest feature of this flashlight in comparison to a lot of other Penlight style flashlights is the ability to actually break the flashlight in half and use one battery versus two batteries. Now what you do is you go ahead and remove the head here. Again, on the high mode, it's going to run off of two AAA batteries. So you can go ahead and take out the batteries, take the head off, take the batteries off, and then unscrew the center portion of the flashlight. You can go ahead and stick in one battery and then just screw in the head to the rest of the body here. Now, in essence, you've gone from a full-size 2-battery flashlight to a smaller, compact 1-battery flashlight. Now, obviously, the only drawback is that you're cutting down the output by basically in half. So you're going from 201 lumens with the 2 batteries on the high mode to 116 lumens with 1 battery on the high mode Again, it is a more compact size, and I think for the most part, 116 lumens off of one AAA is still pretty good. As you guys can see, it's nice and compact. So if you did want to carry a smaller package, you can go ahead and just do that. Or if you were left in a situation where maybe you only have one battery to replace, maybe you don't have the two, then you can go ahead and break it down, use that one battery for to have your light available to you, and then once you get a couple more batteries, you can go ahead and throw in the tube and extend it back to its full size and get the full output on there. So I think that is really cool. I'll go ahead and show you guys the lance. By all intents and purposes, the lance is going to be pretty much the same features on the light itself. So again, you slide the sleeve out, and here is your user manual with your spare O-rings. Again, I always do recommend go ahead and read it. But as far as functionality, feel, and whatnot, it's going to be pretty much the same. Obviously, the light is going to be a little bit longer and a little bit thicker. A little bit extra added weight to it, again, because it is running on two AA's versus the two AAA's on there. But you do get your cannulated bezel, your machining on the aluminum body, again, the rubberized insert on the top here, nice sturdy pocket clip, and then you have your tail cap switch there. Now, on high, the lance is going to be putting out 384 lumens. And then on low, it bumps down to 22 lumens, just like the Saber does. And again, you have your strobe for 384 lumens. It also gives you the ability to go ahead and break it down in the middle, moving the head back there. So it uses one AA battery. Now on one AA battery, it's going to give you 166 lumens on the high. So again, in essence, you're basically cutting the lumen output in half by doing that. So like I mentioned earlier, these have quickly become what I feel my EDC flashlight should be, should look like, should feel, should act, and stuff like that. So I definitely do recommend it. If you guys want something that's really easy to carry, real light, it has a lot of different options that you can do with it. Obviously with the ability to break it down in half and using one battery versus two. Check them out. They're very reasonably priced. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and put a link at the bottom here on where you guys can find these. So again, this is the Saber and Lance model of Powertac Penlight style flashlights. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.